Hey everybody, welcome back to Kitchen Bravo. Today I'm going to make a classic Italian dish called gnocchi di pane, which also translates into bread gnocchi. Now, typically it's made with potatoes. Some recipes don't even use potatoes, they use like a choux paste, which is more of a Parisian gnocchi. But today we're going to go rustic, we're going to go classic, and we're going to go with bread. So in a big bowl, I've already started to shred up a little bit of bread. So you want to turn this into crumbs, and you take old bread and just break it up into teeny tiny little pieces in your bowl. And we want about 2 cups, maybe 2.5 cups of bread. All right, so the pieces of bread that are a little bit crustier and a little bit drier and a little more rigid, I decided to leave out. To my mix, I want to add about 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. I want to add just a tiny little pinch of nutmeg. Why? Because nutmeg and Parmesan go really well together. If you don't want nutmeg, leave it out. It's okay. Just the tiniest little bitty sprinkle. That's it. Okay, in this bowl, I've got some fresh thyme and rosemary chopped together. 1/2 teaspoon thyme, 1/2 teaspoon rosemary. Here we are for a little herbaceousness. Little pinch of salt, just very little. Some black pepper. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to mix this all together. I'm going to add about a cup, maybe 1.5 cups of milk, but it's just enough. Like if you're making cereal in the morning and it's just bread. That's really good. Now we're going to go with an egg because we do need a binder. So I'm going to crack an egg. Here we are. Beautiful. And I'm just going to mix it all up. And you know me, I love to work with my hands. I'm always mixing stuff with my hands. Super simple. I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. Let those flavors get together and that bread to really soften up. I am back and I'm ready to make this gnocchi. So my bread has soaked in. You can see where it's absorbed a lot of the milk. My pot is boiling. I'm going to put some salt in right here. That's about 1/2 tablespoon of salt. And I don't want to over salt it because the gnocchi has quite a bit of seasoning in it already, especially with the Parmesan cheese and the salt that we put in here too. So what I'm going to do is add about 1 cup of flour in here. And I want just enough flour to make it come together and become the consistency of mashed potatoes. Sprinkled right in here. There we go. Give it a good stir and fold it in. See? So the flour is all mixed in, and you can see it's really much more sturdy now. Okay, we're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes while the flour starts to absorb some of the extra moisture and gives it even a little bit more of a firmer texture. Hey, I'm back, and the gnocchi is ready for dropping. This is more of a dumpling style. So I have a very, very small spoon here. This is about a teaspoon's worth. Just, tiny little guy, right? And I just wanna get one little scoop of the gnocchi batter here. I'm going to drop it into the water and it's going to do like a really quick poach. I'm only going to boil about 6 at a time, and once they start to float, you know they're ready. So have your slotted spoon on standby. I'm going to give it a little stir. Just get my gnocchi that I'm picking up. If you have a spider, use a spider. Otherwise, I'm just using a slotted spoon to get it out. Here we go. So these are really pretty hearty little dumplings. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. That herbaceousness of the rosemary and the thyme give it almost like a Thanksgiving kind of vibe to it, like a stuffing kind of vibe. It's not overpowering, not by a long shot whatsoever, but it's just enough herbaceousness that's going to complement our sauce really, really, really well. And if you don't want to use like a seafood sauce or this crawfish sauce that I've made, you can certainly just brown some butter in a skillet and poach them in there. It's amazing. Okay, pour a little bit of sauce over here. The tomatoes and the crawfish, all of that veg, the onions and the celery and the bell pepper, and let's not forget about the smoked sausage. This is a dish that is going to make your mouth water, that is going to make your guests never, ever, ever want to leave your house. So you see there, I've got the crawfish, I've got the gnocchi, the sausage, tomato, veg. Y'all, this makes me so happy. Like, I seriously have no words. It's perfectly seasoned. I mean, the sauce has just the tiniest little bit of a bite to it of seasoning, of spice. But the gnocchi has that herbaceousness that just kind of like brings it down and pulls it all together. The tomatoes are bright. It's just unbelievable how the gnocchi is just so tender and yet so supple. It's perfect, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and keep making the rest of these beautiful little dumplings. Okay, so this is Keisha at Kitchen Bravo saying don't waste, use everything you've got, even if it's old bread, and make something amazing, because you too can be a kitchen magician.